Hey, my name is Romy and we're going to be talking about this diamond painting today, which I just finished. This one is called Zen Moment by Maria Chetkareva and it's from Oraloa. I started this one July 7th, I believe, or 3rd, at the beginning of July, and I finished it on September 30th, which is right around the time that I usually finish a big diamond painting, around the 3-month mark. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It took me 29 hours and 49 minutes in total to complete, and that is a lot less than I would have expected considering the size, because this one is 61 by 86.1 centimeters and it's a square drill. I assumed it would go at least until 35 hours for me to finish this painting, but yeah, I stayed just right under 30 hours, which is nice. This one had a really nice mix between color blocking and confetti, as I assumed before starting it, although it was a bit more confetti heavy than I had anticipated before starting, but still a very nice mix. Let me see, this one has 80 colors, including, let me count here in my leftovers. Let's see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fairy dust drills. I also added a few specials myself down here. I added, let me count again, 9 specials myself. Mostly ABs, since they were not in here already, but I didn't end up using a lot, but I will go into that a little bit later. But there were already quite a lot of specials in there to start with. And let me show you the leftover drills. These are the leftover drills. I had plenty left of all colors except for one. One dark blue color ran out when I was at the halfway mark. Now there isn't too much blue in this painting, so I made do with what I had. I just substituted another color that was close to it, and you can't notice it at all. I don't even notice it, so it's all good. I didn't bother asking the company to send me more replacements. I just figured I would just, yeah, figure it out on my own. So no problem there, but still worth mentioning that I ran out of one color. I really enjoyed doing this diamond painting. Overall, I'm very happy with the end result. It has been a long time since I've done an Oraloa kit that I purchased myself. I did an Oraloa one that I got from a friend, the Hannah Lynn one. Can't remember the name right now. I'll put a picture up of that one, but that was a really old kit, and yeah, it was a small kit. I didn't expect anything from that kit, and this was a different story for this one. I had high expectations. I knew I liked the quality of Oraloa. I liked the quality of their drills, their canvas, their grid, their printing, their rendering, all that kind of stuff. I knew I liked that, so that made it that my expectations were a lot higher, and that also might be the reason that I'm a little bit disappointed with the end result. When you look at the original artwork over here, the shading is done beautifully in my mind. For example, over here in the tiles, over there in that cabinet, over there in the tiles, mainly in her face, in her skin, it's all done beautifully. And then when you take a look at the painting, I feel like the shading isn't nearly as nice. Mainly the part that bugs me is this. This is just a totally different color. It doesn't even blend a little bit. It's just two very different colors. Again, over there on that tile, and over there in those tiles as well. And over here, I think the shading could have been done better, and definitely could have been better in the cabinet. Let me show you the original again. You can see there is shading in there, in the tiles as well, but sorry, it is just one same color. And in the painting, it is not. I feel like that is blue or gray, and that is purple. Same over there, of course. That is a totally different shade of green. That isn't shading, that is just, yeah, it's just a totally different color. So I believe that the shading could have been done better, or the color choice could have been different. I don't know, either one. And where it also really, really bugs me, and it might bug me even more over there, is the coloring and the shading in her face. I will zoom in a little bit. I just feel like one drill color in particular is just the wrong choice. It looks weird. It doesn't look like skin tone. It looks blotchy. No, it doesn't look good in my mind. But overall, again, if you wouldn't take the shading, coloring things into perspective, I really loved working on this piece. I enjoyed the amount of color blocking as well. I enjoyed the amount of confetti, although in some places it was kind of a lot, mainly down there in the flowers and in the other parts with greenery, but that is expected. That's also always very confetti heavy, her hair as well, and generally that side of the painting was very confetti heavy, but the color blocking parts made up for that. I love the cute little ducks. I also love how the towel looks draped over the bath. And yeah, I just think this painting has so many lovely details, and I really enjoy working on it. So I'm going to zoom in, show you where the specials are, and also show you some of the shading issues. As I said, I did add a few specials myself. I added some brown orangey ABs in this mirror, but there was also already specials in here. This one and this one, fairy dust. Then there was also fairy dust in this hanging basket. And also, let me see, this is a white-ish, grayish, shimmering fairy dust, which is again a weird choice in my mind. Because these tiles are purple. Why would you pick a gray, white fairy dust to go there? But I don't know. Also, over here in this plant, I added a little bit of ABs. I added a little bit over there in these bottles, and there was already charted in here the green fairy dust. Again, over here in the plants as well, again, fairy dust, and in the roses was a very pretty fairy dust color, this pinkish one. Then let's see where else. Down here in these roses, again, a lot of fairy dust. In this towel as well, this gorgeous blue. Then we have this yellow one over here. And yeah, that was about it. There is a lot more scattered throughout, but over here in this table as well. But that are the main areas that the fairy dust was in. But now, taking a look at her face and the coloring shading in there, I feel like this color, it's not really that noticeable when I look at it through the camera lens, but in real life it is. I feel like this isn't a skin tone. This is a weird color to put in a skin, and this is a really more beigey, orangey kind of skin tone, and the rest is really, really pink. I think the coloring of her skin tone is just a bit off in my opinion. The other thing I did really love were all these cute little bubbles. They're full of fairy dust as well. Again, over there, there. Yeah, over there, another one. I really love those. And down here in the slippers, ooh, the coloring is going very weird. Oh, now it's back. Over here you can see the fairy dust in here as well. My camera is having trouble with the lighting. It's making it turn a little blue when it is not. But yeah, that is my opinion on this one so far. I don't know. I am happy, but yeah, I am in the same way a little bit disappointed. I do love the outcome. I do love painting it, but I think improvements are possible. Let's keep it nice. So I'm really curious to know what you think about this finish. Do you like it? Have you ever worked on an Oraloa? Have you ever worked on a Maria Chetkareva painting from Oraloa? I have a lot of hers in my stash, so I'm very curious to see if the rendering is also a bit of a disappointment, for me at least, in the other ones I have from her. I sincerely hope not, because I have at least 6 more paintings to do. But yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you join me for my next one. And subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. And have an amazing day. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.